This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com, your one-stop shop for all things podcasting and remote learning. Well, greetings and welcome to another one of our instructional videos. In this one, I want to talk about adding music underneath a video that you've shot that has speaking. And the reasons we would do this would be to move the narrative forward, add interest, and things like that. And the program that we're going to use to do that is DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a super powerful video editing program, completely free. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. I've made a bunch of videos showing you how to do some cool stuff in it, including this one. And there's a bunch of other ones out there as well. So let's get to the screen share and you can see what I'm talking about. So over here, I've already preloaded my video clip that I'm going to be adding the music under, and I'm going to grab my music out of my media pool and put it here. Now the first thing you're going to notice is the volume of the speaking versus the volume of the music is out of whack. We're going to fix that at the end, don't worry about it. But the next thing you're going to notice is that the music ends well before the rest of the clip does. So what we're going to need to do is find somewhere in here to make a cut and then kind of repeat some stuff. So this is a very periodic piece, this In Funk We Trust. It repeats a lot, so that's really, really good in this case because that's going to give us some options for where we can make our cut. And it doesn't matter how far into it we go, and you'll see why in a second, but I'm going to pick right about here. This is roughly where it repeats. And even if I don't get this, it's not that big of a deal. And you're going to see why, because this is way easier than you think it is. Zoom back out again. And we're going to grab this whole bit at the end. And the reason I'm doing this towards the beginning is I think we could blend it better somewhere in the middle. If you do your kind of repeats and edits and all that towards the end, it can get a little weird at times. I'm going to trim this silence off the end here a little bit because I really want this to go all through when I'm speaking if I can. We're pretty close to it anyway. And we'll zoom back out. And then here's the really neat trick with DaVinci Resolve. Even though you've made a cut and this is empty space, you didn't lose this clip. So if you come here to the edge of it and you pull, it magically appears. So we put it back together. So now we've got one little edit in there, and let's see what that sounds like. Pretty close. It's not ridiculous. Pull this back here, and this it does exactly what you think. It's taking this clip here and grabbing what was before it, and this one, it will grab what's after it or go right over it. So if I can find a really good spot here that kind of makes sense, then we're done. Frankly, that's close enough for our purposes. And if we really wanted to get fancy with it, we could do a right click here and add a crossfade. Let's do like a 24 frame crossfade. See if that adds anything to it. I have no idea if it's going to. In this case, I think that's a huge win. That sounds really good. So once that's underneath the talking, you're never going to notice that little stitch in there. So then the next thing that I want to do is to change our volumes on this stuff. So I'm going to select both of these clips here, and then I'm going to reduce this volume to like -20. And that's going to bring it way, way down because I want it under the speaking. And then I'm also going to increase the speaking here by about 10. And I know I went a little fast there, but you can see what I'm talking about here. Now watch what that does.
All y'all hadn't noticed yet, and that's creating some challenges just in general, you know, the biorhythms and all that kind of stuff.
Now, whether that is a good mix of the speaking and the music, that's up to you. I mean, those are just rough guidelines for that. I just want to make sure that you can hear the music, but it's not distracting. And I want to hear the speaking over that because, you know, the message of what I'm talking about is actually the intent here, and the music's just there to drive the narrative. So anyway, that's how you can add some music underneath with DaVinci Resolve. There's a bunch of other things you can do there with fade-ins and fade-outs and all that, but that's really the basic gist of it that I really wanted to get across to you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe. Check out the other videos in the channel. There's some really cool stuff out there, and we'll catch up with you next time. If you're facing a unique problem with podcasting or remote learning, we can help. Reach out to us at thepodcastingstore.com and we'll see what solutions we can find for you. And if you like what you hear, do me a favor and tell a friend. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our e-newsletter, and you'll never miss another podcast or video again. This is Drew with thepodcastingstore.com. Thank you for listening.